I'd like to call the caucus to order. First piece of legislation is an ordinance to accept the bids for all the vehicles we had for sale. We usually try to get those passed so that way we can get rid of them and take them off our insurance. Any comments or questions on that? Hearing none, the second one is to enter into an agreement with Norfolk Southern, and that's for the water line underneath the railroad tracks for the power plant. Comments on that?
That needs to be passed emergency as well.
Lots.
Was what I was going to say.
Okay, emergency on that. The third one is amending and restating an ordinance we passed previously to acquire a permanent right-of-way and sanitary sewer easement from Clean Energy Futures. I believe we're going to want all these passed as an emergency. All of these are pertaining to the power plant.
These are revisions from what we passed at the last meeting.
Well,
Is that right?
revisions,
I'll tell you what they involve. The two clean energy ones, there's language in there. Keep in mind, they are granting the village an easement on property that they own. And we kept going back and forth with Siemens, CT, Ricker and Eckler law firm in Columbus. They all wanted a piece of it. And they all wanted to massage the language so that we couldn't, that they would be permitted to occupy the surface area where the water line is going, correct? Jeff? Yes. And ordinarily, when we take an easement, our boilerplate forms say that people can grow crops there, but they can't put a structure, they can't put a piece of machinery or something like that. So we built language in that they have to give us 5 days notice prior to doing that. And so everybody's happy with it at the BPA, everybody's happy with it at CT. On the VN Investments one, I guess rather than giving it to us for $1, they want to get paid for it. So they're being paid real money for the permanent easement. And everyone else got paid, so why don't they get paid?
and that's reimbursable to us.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
So that's the balance of the ordinances. Any comments or questions other than we'd like to get them passed this evening? Any questions on the minutes from the regular meeting held May 16th? Hearing none, are there any questions on the bills? Okay, anything anybody like to discuss? Last minute appointments from Mr. Grimm. Had in everybody's box. He asked me if I'd present them, and I said I would. I do know who the family members are. I do not know these gentlemen personally, but Mr. Grimm interviewed him, and he could use the help. So I'll be asking to have those two hired for summer help, and then also have a new auxiliary whose face I'm sure everybody knows around here. Brett Blank, so I'll ask for council's approval for his appointment. And also, I'll be asking for a brief executive session to discuss police department issues and the school resource officer for employment. I'll be inviting mayor, council, solicitor, clerk Blank, Chief Milhone. Chief, since you're here, I'll invite you in there too. That's all I have. Is there anything else council would like to discuss while we're still in caucus?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to just bring up, see what council's feelings are about our summer schedule for July and August meetings. We discussed possibly having the council meeting on the 11th of July, if that works for everybody, and then the 15th of August.
11th would normally be a planning and zoning meeting, but Kelly said, she'd be willing to move it if she had to Tuesday or something like that, so how do those days work for summer? Then we'll just cancel the other two meetings for July and the one in August. If we need one, we can always call a special one. Anybody have any problems with Bonnie's recommendation? Want to bring that, bring it up under new business?
Okay.
John?
Yes, Mayor, I'll be making a motion under new business to authorize make a motion for 3 work authorizations for CT consultants. One of them is for the Kunkel building. One of them's for a review for an automotive facility expansion. And one of them's for Compass Development, a review. I'll let somebody from CT explain them a little bit more so everybody understands them.
Yes, thank you, Council. The first one for the Trumbull building is so that we can provide a study of the true cost of demolition or demolish that building. There'll probably be about $2,000 involved in further abatement testing of other materials that are inside of that building before we demo it, and to understand all the other utility costs that have to be severed in order to make a clean split between the classroom portion and the garage portion, to retain only the garage portion as a cold storage.
Yes.
So we put together that work authorization. Our staff met out on site with Dale, and we did a pretty good walkthrough and understanding what the scope of work is.
Chris, I apologize. I should have also, when I was telling the council what they were for, put the monetary figures in too. The one for the Kunkel building is a sum of $5,000, and the other 2 are not to exceed $2,500.
Thank you, and Jeff will explain the ones
The other 2 are for land development plan reviews.
Oh, yes.
One is for Cassin's parking lot expansion for their operations. So that one is off of Lynn's Town Line Road.
Yes.
And then the other one is for a small commercial retail facility that's going to be built on Route 45. The name of the parcel escapes me though, but it's for a land development plan review for a small.
Compass Development?
Yes.
Any questions from council on the 3 work authorizations John's going to ask approval for? Anything else council would like to discuss at this time? Hearing none, caucus is adjourned. We'll go to the regular meeting. I'd like to welcome everybody coming this evening. Please stand and join me for the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Bill.
Mayor Hill.
Present.
Mr. Vaughn.
Here.
Mr. Mansell.
Present.
Mr. Ratcliffe.
Present.
Mrs. Jones.
Present?
Mr. Shealy.
Present.
Mr. Reader.
Present.
Clerk Swank present. Treasurer George Evelyn.
Here.
Solicitor Paul Dutton.
Present.
Police Chief Brent Nolan.
Present.
Fire Chief Travis Eastham.
Here.
Planning and Zoning Economic Development Kelly Bordner.
Present.
Parks, Roads and Grounds Street Commissioner Dale Grimm.
Present.
Recreation Marty Gibson.
Here.
Board of Public Affairs. Municipal Engineer Chris Figel.
Present.
Okay, I did not hear from the Board of Public Affairs. We won't ask for their excuse tonight. Is there a motion for adoption of the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Jones, second.
Second.
Second by Mansell. Comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Entertain a motion for disposal of the minutes for the regular meeting held May 16th, 2016.
So moved.
Moved by Radka, second.
Second.
Second Shealy. Comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Entertain a motion for payment of the bills.
So moved.
Moved by Reader, second.
Second.
Second by Mansell. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mayor's report. We had an official groundbreaking today for the Clean Energy Futures Lordstown electric generating plant. Went real well. Had a lot of people from McCrory and Siemens Financial and Siemens and Kokosing, and it went real well, and they're off and running. In 2 years they should be generating electric. I will be asking for an executive session. There will be no action taken outside here. And also, everybody has 3 appointments I'll be asking to have confirmed. That's it for the mayor's report. Is there a clerk's report?
No report, Mayor.
Solicitor's report.
I ordinarily do not give a report, and this really isn't a report per se, but it's just for the edification of the audience, the constituents, and for the record. I've sent council notification or a memo that the infamous Trumbull County Eastside Sanitary Sewer litigation is now mort, dead. We have prevailed. The time for appeal to the United States Supreme Court has run its course, and whether good, bad, or ugly, you own the sewers, and you have a right to operate the sewer system. That's my report.
Thanks for that enlightening report. Any questions for Paul? Okay, treasurer's report.
No report.
Okay, no one's here from the Board of Trustees of Public Affairs. Village engineers report.
Just an update that the preliminary design is underway for Lordstown Energy Center. We're just about complete with our preliminary design, as a matter of fact. So hopefully over the next month we'll be transitioning into final design. Any questions? I can.
Thank you. Any questions for Chris? Hearing none, special reports, Police Chief Milhone.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I've submitted my monthly report for May. Answer any questions if you have any. The only other thing I have is would ask for council's approval on the appointment of Brett Blank as an auxiliary officer.
Any questions for the chief? Fire Chief Easton.
No report.
Questions for Travis? Planning and Zoning Administrator and Director of Economic Development, Kelly.
I submitted my reports in your boxes, and there will be an upcoming Planning Commission meeting. Due to a scheduling conflict, we will determine whether or not that it will be either June 14th perhaps, or maybe the next week. We'll see what we can work out with everyone. And it will be for a simple site plan review for CSX Transportation. They're going to expand their base of operation to make just basically a larger parking lot for more storage for their vehicles on and off the rail and on and off trucks.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Kelly? Parks, Grounds, Building, Street Superintendent, Mr. Graham.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I was going to elaborate a little bit tonight on meeting with CT consultants up at Trumbull, but Chris has already pretty much done that. Also, I just apologize for the short notice on the appointments, but we just got the applications today, so appreciate the approval of the appointments for that.
Any questions for Dale? Recreation, Marty.
I have no report, but I do want to remind everybody, Relay for Life, that we are involved with this weekend, starting Friday at 6 at Newton Falls. So if anybody's got time that you can walk, give Sharon Beats a call. And then also just to remind everybody, Community Day is Saturday, June 25th from 4 to 7.
Okay, any questions for Marty? Okay, Bill, do we have any correspondence this evening?
No correspondence, Mayor.
Okay, public remarks. If you'd like to make a public remark after I acknowledge you, please come to the microphone and give your name and address so we can get it recorded in the minutes correctly. Public remarks. Yes, Bruce.
Yes, Bruce Platt, 1952 Salt Springs Road. This evening I'm your utility superintendent. We're reporting on the disinfectant byproducts. We did our sampling the first week of May. Took about 2.5 weeks to obtain those results. The results we're looking for is you have to have a running average of below 80. Our running average is now below 70, and our readings that we just obtained were one sample was at 47 parts per million, and the other sample was at 44 parts. Yeah, so MVSD is doing a great job in assisting us and advising us what to do and supplying a little product that's a little more friendly to the disinfectant byproducts. So Just happy to report those results. So,
Okay, thank you, Bruce.
Any questions from anyone?
Now, you haven't alarmed anybody lately, so we're pretty good to go there. Any other public remarks? Okay, hearing none, are there any council remarks? Okay, hearing none, committee reports. Finance, Mr. Radka.
No report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Comments or questions for Ron? Parks, buildings, grounds, general improvements, streets and sidewalks, Mrs. Jones.
I don't have any report, but we will be setting up a meeting probably for sometime during the day on Wednesday. And do you have a time that you want to meet? 10?
Matter to me.
We'll have a meeting at 10 a.m. on Wednesday then.
You get that bill for advertising? Any questions for Karen? Public safety and welfare, Mr. Reader.
No report this evening.
Questions for Don? Public utilities, Mr. Bond.
Yes, just one piece of legislation tonight we'd like to see passed as an emergency, and hopefully we're getting to the end of these easements and stuff.
Okay, any questions for Bob? Transportation, recreation, and senior services, Mr. Shealy.
No report this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions for Howard? Okay, hearing none. Bill, can we have the first piece of legislation?
From council as a whole for emergency passage, an ordinance accepting one, the bid of Joe's and Eugenio for the purchase of one used 2004 GMC pickup truck. 2, the bid of Tim Cross for the purchase of one used 1999 GMC pickup truck. 3, the bid of Henry Spell for the purchase of one used 1999 Chevrolet pickup truck. 4, the bid of Martin Nelder for the purchase of one used 2005 Ford bus. And 5, the bid of Joe DeGenio for the purchase of one used 2005 Chevrolet Impala and declaring an emergency.
Comments or motions?
Motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules by Mansell. Is there a second? Second by Jones. Roll call.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Reader?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carried to suspend the rules. Motion to adopt?
So moved.
Moved by Bond, second Shealy. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Reader?
Yes.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carried to adopt. Ordinance 59, 2016. Next, please.
From Utilities Committee for emergency passage, an ordinance authorizing the Village of Lordstown to enter into a license agreement with Norfolk Southern Railway Company to use its right-of-way for property for installation, construction, maintenance, operation, and removal of facilities in connection with the construction of a water line for the Clean Energy Future Lordstown project and declaring an emergency.
Comments or motions?
Motion to suspend rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Radka, second.
Second.
Second by Reader. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Reader?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carried to suspend the rules. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Moved by Jones, second.
Second.
Second by Mansell. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Reader?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carried to adopt. Ordinance 60, 2016. Next, please.
In council's role for emergency passage, an ordinance amending and restating ordinance number 47, 2016, authorizing the Village of Lordstown to acquire a permanent right-of-way and sanitary sewer easement from Clean Energy Future Lordstown LLC and declaring an emergency.
Comments or motions?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Shealy, second.
Second.
Second by Mansell. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Reader?
Yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carried to suspend the rules. Or motion to adopt.
So moved.
Moved by Radka, second.
Second.
Second by Reader. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Reader?
Yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carried to adopt. Ordinance 61, 2016. Next, please.
From council as a whole for emergency passage, an ordinance amending and restating ordinance number 44, 2016, authorizing the Village of Lordstown to acquire a permanent right-of-way and sanitary sewer easement from Clean Energy Future Lordstown LLC and declaring an emergency.
Comments or motions?
Motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules by Mansell, second.
Second.
Second by Jones. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Reader?
Yes.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carried to suspend the rules. Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Radka, second by Bond. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mr. Rader?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Radka?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carried to adopt ordinance 62, 2016. Next, please.
From council as a whole for emergency passage, an ordinance amending and restating ordinance number 48, 2016, authorizing the village of Lordstown to acquire a permanent right-of-way and water line easement from Vianna Investments LLC, declaring an emergency.
Comments or motions?
Motion to,
Motion to suspend the rules by Radka,
Second.
Second by Jones. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rader?
Yes.
Mr. Shealy?
Yep.
Mr. Radka?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carried to suspend the rules. Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Moved by Bond, second. Second Shealy. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Rader?
Yes.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Radka?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carried to adopt ordinance 63, 2016. Next, please.
From council as a whole for emergency passage, an ordinance amending and restating ordinance number 49, 2016, authorizing the village of Lordstown to acquire a temporary right-of-way and construction easement from Vianna Investments LLC and declaring an emergency.
Comments or motions?
Motion to suspend.
Motion to suspend the rules by Jones, second.
Second.
Second by Shealy. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mr. Radka?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Rader?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carried to suspend the rules. Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Moved by Radka, second.
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Second by Reader. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Radka?
Yes.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Rader?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carried to adopt ordinance 64, 2016. Is there any old business council would like to discuss at this time? Hearing none, new business, I'd like to go first. Everybody should have in their box 2 requests from Street Commissioner Grimm for Paul Yasnowski and Alex Behon to be appointed for summer help. I'll entertain a motion to have them 2 appointed.
So
Make that
moved.
motion, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Jones, second by Radka. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Been recommended by Chief Milhone to put Brett Blank on as a part-time police officer.
So
Motion
moved.
Moved by Jones, second. Second by Bond. Comments?
Does he have to sing?
I hope so.
Every meeting.
All right.
We can start now. No. Comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Radka.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we set our summer council schedule for July the 11th and August the 15th, 2016.
And cancel the other
Yes.
July and August meetings.
That is correct.
Everybody heard the motion by Ron?
11 and 15, right?
July 11th, August 15th.
August 15th. Everybody heard the motion by Ron, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Jones, comments or questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Mansell.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion that we authorize CT Consultants to do the Kunkel building alterations, the surveying of it or whatever, for a lump sum of $5,000.
We heard the motion by John, is there a second to that motion for
Second.
Kunkel?
Second.
Second by Bond, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. John.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize CT Consultants to do a review for automotive facility expansion on Lordstown Line Road and not to exceed $2,500.
So moved.
He know- he knows.
Yeah, that's the motion, you the second?
Yeah. Sorry.
Motion by Mansell, second by Shealy. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'd like to make a work authorization for CT Consultants to do a LDP review for Compass Development located on Todd Avenue, State Route 45, and again, not to exceed $2,500.
Everybody heard John's motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jones, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Is there any other motions or new business before I ask for an executive session to take place after public remarks. Okay, I'll be asking for an executive session, inviting mayor, solicitor, council, clerk, police chief Milhone, and school board president Catlin to discuss personnel issues, hiring of a school resource officer through the police department. There may be action taken afterwards. That's it. And before we go into executive session, I'll be swearing in Brett for auxiliary, so I'll entertain a motion for that executive session.
So moved.
Moved by Jones, second. Second by Shealy. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. Reader?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Radka?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Okay, 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carried for that executive session. Any other new business? Hearing none, are there any additional public remarks this evening? Okay, hearing none, we will adjourn to executive session. I'm going to take a few minutes here to swear in Brett Blank as our new auxiliary.
Good one, George.
Bill, can I call you about that check thing in the morning? Yeah, sure. All right, I'll call you.
Yeah, do you have a copy of those work authorizations so I can put in POs?
Yeah.
I got John.
I got them, Chris.
State of Ohio. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a police officer. Lordstown Village, Trumbull County, Ohio, during my continuance in office.
She was just asking me.